Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. As you can see, we're doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to show you how to make this wonderful, healthy, and delicious chicken recipe. This was the first time I made it, and honestly, I was surprised by how easy it was and how much I liked it. I adapted this recipe from a New York Times recipe, so I'm going to show you my version, which also includes vegetables. I will link everything for you in the description below, but let's go. So first you're gonna start off with 3 pounds of chicken, and you're going to trim off any bits you don't like, extra fat, extra skin, and season it with salt and pepper. I'm sorry I'm wiggling it around like a crazy person, but bear with me. So once you've done that, you'll set it aside, and in a bowl, you're going to crush at least 2 cloves of garlic. I like a lot of garlic, so as you can see here, I do a little bit more than 2 cloves, but this recipe is adaptable. So, anywhere from 2 to 6 cloves, depending on your garlic preference. Now, once you've got that in your bowl, you're going to take a tablespoon of olive oil and just drop that in there as well. After the olive oil, you have a tablespoon of honey. And a really nice trick here, if you do the olive oil right before you do the tablespoon of honey, it all comes out because the tablespoon is coated, so you can see you don't have to do a whole lot of work to get all that honey off of the spoon. Next, put in a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, or if you're like me, you can put in 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. I still didn't think this was that spicy, so if you have a higher spice tolerance, you can do that. Healthy squirt of lemon juice there, and then a sprinkle of rosemary. This probably equaled about a 1/4 teaspoon of rosemary, but I didn't really calculate. You're just gonna mix all of that up so that everything is nice and combined. And then once that is finished, you're going to take your chicken and just plop it in there. And the recipe that I was looking at said to mix it all by hand, so I'm sorry if this is a little gross for some people. I probably could have found a way to more elegantly mix together the chicken, but I did the best I could to just get the marinade all over and nicely cover the chicken. Once you've done that, you're just gonna let it sit for half an hour and wash your hands. So I picked up between 1 pound and 2 of Brussels sprouts, so I just like to cut off the ends, discard them, and cut them all in half. However, you can choose any vegetable you want, broccoli, asparagus, anything like that. So once you've chopped them all up, you're just going to put them in a pan, and you'll just do this while the chicken is sitting in its little marinade for half an hour. And you can also at this time set the oven to 425 degrees so it preheats as you're chopping your Brussels sprouts. So once the Brussels sprouts are in the pan and your chicken has been marinating, you just pat out the Brussels sprouts and arrange the chicken on top however you would like. Just make sure that it's not too overcrowded. I probably should have maybe had a little less chicken or a little bit bigger of a pan, but you just want to make sure that it's in an even layer and it can all, cook evenly. The original recipe that I looked at called for you to flip the chicken halfway through. However, I did not do that and just left it all skin side up so that the skin could be nice and crispy when I was done cooking. And also make sure you get all of the marinade on there. Okay, so now before you put the chicken in the oven, you're just gonna drizzle another 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil on it. Pop that in there for first only 20 minutes. Set a timer for 20 minutes. And then once the chicken has been out at 20 minutes, you're going to take some type of cheese. The original recipe called for feta. I have kind of a garlic and herb goat cheese here. And I just sprinkled little dollops of it around. Like I said, this was the first time I tried this recipe, and the cheese was okay, but I don't think it was necessarily essential to make it a good recipe. So if you don't like goat cheese or you'd like this to be dairy-free, that's also completely possible by leaving off the cheese. So after you do that, you're gonna put it back in the oven for another 25 minutes. And I'm just chopping up some fresh dill here. And yes, I do realize that is the wrong knife, but all my knives were taken. So now that your chicken has been in the oven for a full 45 minutes, it should look like this, lovely and golden brown. If you're not 100% sure about how long it's cooked, you can take a meat thermometer and make sure that it reaches 165 degrees. I am just sprinkling this fresh dill on top. You know, if you don't like dill, you could use parsley or maybe basil, any kind of fresh herb you enjoy. But look at that. It smelled so good. The honey really came through in a way that I wasn't expecting. And since it's only my boyfriend and myself, we had a lot of leftovers as well. So we really enjoyed this recipe, more so than I thought. The Brussels sprouts were nicely cooked through too. And overall, it was a winner. I hope you guys try it, enjoy it, and let me know what you think. Hope you all enjoy.